And a very good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. It's a Wednesday morning here in the Spice Isle, middle of the week already. Would you believe that? And good program coming your way this morning, so hang in there. She's already seated on her throne this morning. Sherron Roberts, she's going to be with us in the second half of today's program. And let's get right down to brass tacks. Yes, sirree. Here we go again. Our first piece this morning is captioned, Feeding on Us. What is all that about? It's an opinion piece which was written by an attorney at law, Claudette Joseph. She sent that out to us last night, and we're going to be sharing that with you in just a few minutes. And there's still a lingering issue. You see this, some people call it PhoneGate, some people call it CellGate, whatever gate, you know. Yesterday at the post-cabinet briefing, to put some weight on this and show you how significant this is, when the press secretary was doing her introduction of the guests who were going to be on the press briefing, right off the bat, man, she launched into an explanation about the status of things with PhoneGate, CellGate, yeah? And you're about to find out in just a few minutes that apparently the government has decided that the people who racked up these bills will have to pay out of their pockets. However, the government says that they're willing to work with them. You're going to hear the details in just a little bit, whatever that means, work with them. All right? We do have the national report for you this morning, and of course, right after that, we will get into our little tete-a-tete, Wednesday morning tete-a-tete, which I so look forward to every Wednesday morning. But before we get cranked up, I see that Aunthiarello is saying good morning, good to see you, girl. She's in a place called Decatur, and that's I guess not too far from Atlanta. It's in Georgia. Fitzroy Adams is saying he's watching from a hot and humid Brooklyn. Boy, let me tell you, even right in here where I am sitting this morning, I've been having some problems with this air conditioning over my head here. Yesterday I had some people come in here to take a look at it. Actually, they came the day before. They said, nah, I can't take that on. We're going to have to come back tomorrow. So they came back yesterday, worked on it, and it's just putting out a little bit of cool air. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm kind of warm in here this morning. Benedict Cador is, he's saying good morning to you, Sherron, and to me, George. So y'all want to see, but take a look. Let me show you. There she goes. Well, we're not going to get to her yet. We're going to get to her in just a wee bit. But first, let's get down to brass tacks. The caption for that piece sent by attorney at law, Claudette Joseph, is captioned, Feeding on Us, or Off Us. I quote, the recent uncovering of the shocking and unconscionable abuse of government cell phone services by known NNP activists and loyalists has brought the level of mismanagement of public resources by the ruling administration into sharp focus. Grenada is now at a place where misfeasance by our elected officials and their appointed loyalists is happening in plain sight. It is critical that the people of Grenada demonstrate their understanding that this state of affairs hurts the country. We all must speak up and act up. The current holder of the office of Prime Minister has presided over the abuse and misuse of public assets since his entry into the Parliament, and that was back in 1984. This is a matter of historic record. The Worrell Commission of Inquiry investigated 6 state-owned companies and statutory bodies for mismanagement and wrongdoing during the period 1985 to 1989. All of them were under Dr. Mitchell's Ministry of Communications and Works. The commission found it, quote, remarkable, unquote, that the authorities did not refer to the police for investigation the disappearance of items from those bodies and entities. You can go check it out on page 99 of the Worrell Report. During that same period, 1985 to 1989, the government and people of Grenada owned an airplane, the Bandarante, acquired by the PRG. That asset was under the control of Dr. Mitchell's ministry and disappeared without a trace. No one was held accountable. When Dr. Mitchell became Prime Minister in 1995, the clouds grew even darker. His first act was to begin the systematic dismantling of the public service. Richard Duncan, in his book, Walking the Straight and Narrow, published in 1996, relates how, within months of becoming Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell made it clear at a staff meeting at the Ministry of Finance that, quote, no matter how dedicated and committed an officer is, and no matter how hardworking and respected the officer might be, once there is no trust, then there is nothing doing, unquote. By trust, the public officers understood Dr. Mitchell to mean loyalty. All right. In short order, outstanding public servants like Richard Duncan, Nolan Murray, Basil Hofford, Julia Lawrence, and others were out. Basil Hofford later revealed how Mitchell told him, quote, I have a feeling you don't support me, unquote. And that was enough for Mr. Hofford to get the axe. Mitchell took millions of our money and pumped it into a private business owned and operated by his family. That business, Call Centers of Grenada, was supposed to pay back our money, which Dr. Mitchell said was a loan. That was Dr. Mitchell's promise in Parliament. Mitchell's relative and a Russian, Lev Model, ran that business into the ground, and the people lost millions. The corruption and maladministration has been well documented throughout Mitchell's tenure. From $25 million wasted in the Garden Group fiasco to 18.5 million, that's 6.9 million US, on the ill-fated chicken farm in St. Mark. Now we have the shrimp farm debacle in St. Mark again. Since 2013, virtually everything is done in the dark and treated as top secret, including our oil and gas resources. With no parliamentary oversight, this works well for Mitchell. His dangerous habit of victimizing public officers whom he perceives as not loyal has intensified over the years. Public servants afraid of being victimized or cowered into silence. The Prime Minister must have been taunting them when he said at a recent town hall meeting in Montreal, and I quote, no politician can touch you for doing your work, unquote. With his long history and the recent examples of Judy Benoit, Gemma Bain Thomas, Willem Thompson, and others, he must know that public servants know better. Well-meaning public officers are paralyzed by the parasites feeding on us and cowered into turning a blind eye to the corrupt practices of the NNP. The others are either loyal to or part of the cabal. Public officers are paralyzed, and the rest of the nation sat silently while, one, between 2013 and 2018, Mitchell paid 3 MPs ministers' salaries, even though they were not ministers. At a monthly take-home pay of $8,000 between the 3 of them, that cost us $14,400,000. 2, all manner of political associates taking gas freely at the Central Police Station, while the rest of us were paying $16 or more per gallon. 3, social safety net programs became so political in delivery and distribution that beneficiaries now believe that help comes from the NNP coffers. And 4, parliamentary constituency offices became NNP election campaign offices, so that while the opposition NDC was raising funds to meet their expenses, taxpayers paid the rent and utilities for the campaign offices of NNP candidates. Now that the cell phone scandal is public, people seem awakened. I hope this is not just another 8-day wonder. At $26,000 a month for Sheldon Scott's bill alone, we can take a safe bet that most of that went towards NNP's operations. Yes, people, you are funding the operations of the NNP. In such an environment, how leveled is the playing field between NNP and the other political parties? There is only one way to end this madness. We have got to vote out Dr. Mitchell and his cabal for good. As I mentioned, pilgrims, that's the text of a piece that was submitted last night by Claudette Joseph, who is an attorney at law. By the way, it's also published on the GRENADABROADCAST.com website. You can go check it out. Now, do I go into the next piece? Yeah, let's go right into the next piece. At yesterday's post-cabinet briefing, Press Secretary Philomena Robinson briefed the media on the latest in the investigation into CellGate. Check out this.
And what has become a very topical issue in the news in the past week, and something I'm sure there are many questions about, I will say that government is continuing to look into the situation. We have already taken action to remove persons who are no longer eligible for inclusion on government's cell phone plan. Some of them, I will say, have opted to keep their numbers, but have assumed immediate responsibility for their bills. We are continuing to engage with the service provider, Digicel, with a view to examining cost in some instances and to determine possible reductions in charges based on the cap that exists with respect to all persons who are included on government's plan. In terms of the way forward, we have also been in communications with the persons who are no longer eligible for government's plan and who would have had high bills to let them know that the monies will have to be repaid, but that government is willing to work with them on the details for that. In terms of the way forward as well, we are currently reviewing government's draft cell phone policy to ensure that it adequately addresses cell phone usage and the responsibilities of persons who are eligible for cell phones. I will also just want to repeat some of the pronouncements that we would have made on the matter. Minister Oliver Joseph was here on post-cabinet brief last week, and he noted that the cell phone matter has raised the issue for greater accountability with respect to access to government cell phones and usage, and as indicated, we are working on that. And Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, just this past weekend at a town hall meeting in Montreal, Canada, where he was for the second annual Spice Cultural Day celebration, he would have responded to a question on the cell phone matter, and he did indicate that government has accepted full responsibility, but he also noted that there is culpability on the part of the accounting officers in the public service, as well as the service provider, Digicel, for instituting the agreed upon cap. So the investigation into the matter is continuing, so that is all that we can say.
Okay, so that was yesterday's post-cabinet briefing, hosted by Philomena Robinson. She's the press secretary down at the Gardens. Let me see here now. Let me see here. Who-day and Who-do-day on social media. We have a report here from Mr. Darbo, and thank you very much, Mr. Darbo. This really does mean a lot to me. He says, good morning, excellent audio. Yeah, Darbo, we started using this a couple of days ago. And so far, seems to be working fine. Margaret Francis says, good morning, and she hopes that all is well. Mags, your cohort, Sherron, is here. She's going to be joining us momentarily. John Bruno says, good morning, George. Excellent article. Well, it's not me. I didn't write that. That was written by Claudette Joseph. And Peter Bishop is saying good morning to all. And by the way, thank you, Peter. By the way, pilgrims, I should tell you, you know I'm an open person. It was Peter who helped me to get this new audio system down from New York. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. John Bruno says, we as a people tend to forget our history. We never learn from past events or deeds. Arthur Langine says, happy Wednesday morning, George. I'm watching from New York. Good information to the public. I'm glad you're reminding the PM of those past and still going on. I guess he meant those events. Yeah. Sean out there in the Azores. Where's Sean? Sean, oh yeah, here he is. Sean says, hold on a minute. Sean, why are you being evasive this morning? He says power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So says Sean. As John Bruno says, we learn from the past or relive it. That simple. Good morning to you, Ryan, out there in Orlando. And Arthur says the PM seems to forget all those things. So now he's saying that the phone bill would be paid back. Should we believe him? I don't. So says Arthur. Ryan says the ruling Grenada political cabal is involved in sheer continued opportunism. And then he goes on to say, too late, young lady. CellGate money already spent by the government of Grenada. And Digicel smiling. Anthony DeRay says, she keeps saying, would have made. Why? Come on, Anthony, because would have are the buzzwords these days. Been going on for some time now. Everything is would have, would have, would have. Well, we talked a lot about that here, huh? Then, author says, what is she talking about this morning? Well, she was talking about CellGate. Benedict Cador says, I have the same question. They all say that all is well, as the person's thing. I'm not fully sure, I understand that. Oswald Darbo says, do you know why didn't the Prime Minister respond to the question, Madam Press Secretary? Let me read that again. Do you know why didn't the Prime Minister respond to the question, Madam Press Secretary? You said he would have responded. Well, in all fairness, Pele, okay, maybe not proper timing, but last Friday when he attended that town hall meeting in Montreal, I know that he did make some comments about it, and we ran that Sunday morning. I also think I ran it again on Monday. Okay? So let's be fair. Then Pele says, what was the impediment, Madam Press Secretary? Your eyes too big and your ears too big for you, Pele. And Anthea says, crookedness in the highest form. People, open your eyes. Change is necessary. Okay, I think that's it for the time being there on social media. Let me take a break now. Ooh, 22 minutes after the hour. Let me take a break now and get into the national report because I can't wait to hear Sherron's take on this stuff. Hang in there.
Mr. Watts, wait. Why are you removing my sign?
Sorry, Larry, but you can't put the sign on an electricity pole. That is an accident waiting to happen.
Mr. Watts, man, I just finished this new house. I need to put up a sign so that people would know that the apartment is for rent. Why can't I put my sign on the pole?
Larry, you should know better. Think about it. Nails, staples, glue, and signs make it difficult for linesmen to quickly and safely climb poles, and it can delay their response time when there is an emergency. These objects can prevent linesmen responding as quickly as they should in an emergency.
You know, I've never thought about those things. But you're absolutely right.
On top of that, Larry, your sign was covering the pole identification number. What if someone needed to report a fault? The pole number tells Grenlec exactly where the problem is and allows them to respond faster.
Whoa, I really didn't consider all these things, you know. Come, let me help you take this down.
Remember, be safe, be smart. No more signs, banners, or posters on electricity poles.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
Studying too hard about back-to-school expenses? Co-op Bank is making back to school as easy as 1, 2, 3. Enjoy competitive interest rates, affordable monthly payments, speedy decisions on applications. Come in and apply today.
Welcome home.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply departments and the Food Fair supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's Hardware, Food Fair supermarkets, and the Grenadian General Insurance, an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan.
Government takes decisive action to address high cell phone usage. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, July 16th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The government of Grenada has taken decisive action to address unusually high cell phone usage and to eliminate the inclusion of persons who are no longer eligible for government's cell phone plan. Press Secretary Philomena Robertson revealed at Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing that government has already taken action to remove persons who are no longer eligible for inclusion on government's cell phone plan. Government has also contacted persons who are no longer eligible to inform them that the costs incurred will need to be repaid and that government is willing to work with them on the details of that. Government is also continuing to engage Digicel, the service provider, with a view to examining the excessive costs in some instances and to determine possible reductions in charges based on the cap that exists with respect to all persons included on the plan. As part of the way forward, government is reviewing the draft cell phone policy to ensure that it adequately addresses cell phone usage and responsibilities. The Spice Mass Corporation is seeking to ensure transparency in the judging process for the various events for Spice Mass 2019. During the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Senator Nolan Cox, said a new process will be implemented for the selection of judges.
You would have to go through the training, and we had asked the consultant who did the training to do some scoring as well, to do some assessment based on person's performance throughout the training workshop. And so we took a decision to empanel a three-man panel that will be used to select the judges. So Spice Mass in itself, or no individual or the CEO, would not be the one selecting the judges. And we have asked 3 persons who will vet the judges and make recommendations to SMC who the judges should be for the various events.
The Minister for Culture and the Arts believes it's of critical importance to implement a process that is transparent to avoid any issues among the stakeholders of Carnival.
We have asked Mr. Hugh Grant to return again, so he's going to be supervising the whole judging process. He's going to oversee everything, both at the semis and at the finals. So he'll be to ensure that everything goes as it's supposed to, no interference, a high level of transparency. So he's be here to manage that process. Additionally, we are going to have auditors from a reputable auditing firm who will be present at the judging to deal with tabulation to ensure that the judging process is done in a fair and transparent manner.
Senator Cox says there will also be a higher caliber of judging for the various shows for Spice Mass 2019 using a different approach to the adjudication process. Some of the recommendations follow a recent training workshop.
We have decided to use 5 judges for each stage of the competition. So 5 judges for all tents, and next set of 5 judges for the semis, and a different set of judges for the finals. So we would not be using the same judge. The judge that has been used at the 10th level would not judge at the semifinals, and the judge who judged at the semifinals would not be judging at the finals. So that is one of the first things that we have agreed on.
Grenada has been awarded 11 bilateral and 200 multilateral short-term training courses for 2019. On Monday, officials from the Department of Public Administration and the Ministry of Education met with successful applicants for the upcoming vocational management and strategic planning seminars. Human Resource Manager at BBA, Alana Felix Roberts, says government has placed human resource development high on its agenda.
Human resource development is foremost on government's agenda, as government recognizes that it is inextricably linked to sustainable socio-economic and national development. This year, we have been offered 11 bilateral training courses and approximately 4 spots each in 60 multilateral courses by the People's Republic of China. Seminar on vocational education management and seminar on reform management and strategic planning, those that to head off to, are actually the first 2 training programs for the 2019 cycle.
Chief Education Officer Mr. David Andrew encouraged the trainees to use the opportunity to enhance their individual lives and their workplaces.
It will expose you to differences in culture and differences that would enhance, no doubt, your level of operation. And so make the very best of it, and let's see the fruits of its impact upon you, upon your return.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man. Coming down to Grenada. Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
25 groovy soca artists have secured a place in the semi-final round of the competition on July 25th, following a rain-interrupted weekend. They were selected from a cast of 105 who sang before the judges at Carnival City. The inclement weather on the first night of the groovy preliminaries forced a rescheduling of the competition to Saturday, where about 54 artists performed. On Sunday, inclement weather again forced a reschedule to Monday, July 15th, where 51 artists performed. The 25 groovy artists include newcomers Rashid Julian, aka Crave, David Andel and Michael Redhead, aka Red Alert, Altitude, Sparky B and Punchless. The other artists qualifying for the semi-final round are Soca Banton, Tara the Governor, Otis, Snake Oil, Top Cat and Blazer, Sheldon Douglas, Scholar, Randy Isaac, Vaughn Baraka, Pappy Boy, Kennedy, Mandela Lynx, Killer B, Brother B, Valine, Double Standard, Looney Spark and Electrify, Alma Boy and Mr. Golden, the 2019 Karakou Groovy Monarch.
We had a very good turnout for our groovy prelims. We had the artists giving a very good account of themselves. Despite we had a little challenge with the rain and we had to postpone a few times. God graced us with good weather tonight and we were able to complete the groovy prelims tonight, and we are very grateful that we have come to the end of the preliminary competitions of both Soca and Groovy, and we are now getting ready to move into the semi-final round of the competition. I've seen some newcomers and we have seen them taking front and center stage this year in the Groovy prelims as well as the Soca, and that speaks very well for the art form this year.
The attention will now be turned to the judging of Calypso Tents. Newcomer Chero's Calypso Tent will be the first to be judged.
We look forward to the Calypso judging commencing on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, with the Chero's Calypso tent coming out of St. Paul's. That's a new tent coming on this year, and we go right up until the 22nd. And we are really looking forward to some good Calypsos this year coming out of the tent, because we are really trying to build back the March Gras and to have more people coming back into the March Gras this year. The feeling is buzzing. It's buzzing out there. You see the artists, they're creating the music. You're seeing the hype that they're creating on social media. And it's a really good feeling. I think people are really looking forward to what is going to be the buzz in Spice Mass this year. People are really looking forward to the music, to the costumes, to the parade of the bands on the street, etc. People are really looking forward, and we are hearing that we are going to be flooded with foreigners coming this year. We're really looking forward to be welcoming everyone for Spice Mass 2019.
That's Mr. Kelvin Jacobs, CEO of the Spice Mass Corporation. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, folks, as you can see, I am already well into Sherron's time. So we ain't gonna spend a lot of time on social media. I'm just gonna take a quick little break here so that we pay some bills so that we could come back tomorrow and do this again. And then we'll go directly to Sherron.
Conveniently located in the Grandstand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granadas will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep,
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Studying too hard about back to school expenses? Co-op Bank is making back to school as easy as 1, 2, 3. Enjoy competitive interest rates, affordable monthly payments, speedy decisions on applications. Come in and apply today.
Alrighty, folks, there she is. But let me say good morning to Jennifer Benjamin. Good morning, Jennifer. Mandu Seals. Hey, Mandu. Come on, man. Time for us to have another pizza, huh? And Bernard Gilbert's also there. Ryan Jaban, John Crow Alexander. John, I'm still waiting on the projected date for your arrival here on the Spice Hut. But while I wait, let me say good morning to my friend. Good morning, Sherron.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody out there.
They're waiting for you, girl. They're waiting.
And I'm sure everybody's warm or hot. Very few people feeling cold these days.
Your friend Margaret says, "Hello, Sherron."
Hi, Max.
A little louder, Max. She couldn't hear that. Hey, Sherron, listen, man. I just can't beat around the bush this morning. Tell me, let me hear your take on CellGate, PhoneGate, GateGate.
Well, let's look at cell phone gate first.
Okay.
Now, as you know, I worked with the U.S. government for years.
Here.
I had a cell phone too, a USG issued cell phone. And 2 days before I left, because the day I turned 60, I wanted to retire. But Ambassador keep asking me, give me another month, and eventually after 4 months I tell him, I say, I really thought you liked me, but it seemed like you don't. I said, I'm ready to go home. They hired somebody and I gave up the office. I gave up my office to her, and 2 days before I left officially, I gave them back the phone, and they're like, what is this? I said, that's your phone. They said, but you don't leave until the next 2 days. I said, no. Take your phone. I don't want to forget and think it's mine and using it when you know, for my own business.
Yeah.
It is irresponsible to leave a job and hold on to this people's phone. That's a kind of another way of stealing.
Yeah.
Because it's not yours.
Yeah.
you know? And if you're doing political work and calling it government work, that is stealing. So when they call you an old thief, you're an old thief. Give back them people thing, and you know I call a spade a spade. That is stealing. I remember telling somebody once, if you're 15 minutes late for work, you
That's
just stole 15 minutes from your boss.
Absolutely.
It is not stealing a computer or phone that alone that is stealing. If you're stealing time, you're stealing. If you have something and you're using something that don't belong to you and taxpayers have to pay for it, you are old thief. No matter what you want to call yourself. Don't look down on the guy that jumping over the wall and breaking into somebody's house and stealing and feel you're better than them. You're a thief too. And that is how I feel about it. And they could polish it up and they could call it any other thing. It is the same thing.
Were you surprised to hear in the post-cabinet briefing that the Prime Minister, the government has decided that the money must be repaid?
Sort of, but will it really be? Are they giving us that the whole? To comfort some people, make them feel, well, okay. But you know, even that, and Claudia's letter, just put a lot of stuff in my head, just thinking. Yes, the Grenadians have a short memory. Every 5 years they come and they bamboozle us with something and you turn around and you vote for them. I liken it to spousal abuse. The man come home drunk and he beat you up, or the woman beat you up, or whatever it is. And then they sweet talk you and they tell you they're sorry. And next time they beat you worse than the last time. And each time they say they're sorry, you forgive. And each time is worse than the last time. So are you stay there until they kill you? But it's the same thing with the government. Each time they come back, they do worse. And people put them back. Give them another chance. They started something.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to get at here, Sherron. I mean, come on. Yes, you say they come back and they bamboozle you. Sherron, after they've done that so many times, they keep coming back and bamboozling. Why the hell do we let them bamboozle us? That's my question.
Well, you have to look at two factors. You have to look at some people say give them another chance, and some of us have short memories. And you have to look at the reality. And who want to vex with me, the reality of them thieving the election. And you know that happened too. Yeah. I know for a fact of some of the things. Peter Bishop was with me in Petit Martinique when I stood on the platform and lambasted some of them. And they turn around the next day, you hear, what? Sherron Roberts was in Petit Martinique? Up they gone. They paid young people, young girls. They even told some of them, you don't even have to come. But we have in this training session and we're paying you $200 a week. And even if you ain't come, we're paying you the $200 a week. And I tell some of them, I said, the day after election, this training finish. So said, so done. Because they were using the funds to buy votes. That is illegal. But who taking them to court?
That's the problem.
You know?
That's the problem.
When they steal 15 seats, you have no opposition. You have no accountability. Huh? Well, the difference is I tell them to the face, and when I meet any of them and they say, Sherron, how are you doing? I choose to answer. Sometimes I answer and sometimes I tell them such terrible things that, I mean, it's not a lie. I call them thief to their face.
You know, perhaps you can call me an eternal optimist, but I'm just hoping that I am seeing people becoming a little bit more aware of what is going on, and hopefully there's going to be some change, because, I mean, we just can't keep on going this way. We're going to hell in a handbasket.
Well, I hear a lot of people still beating up on NDC and say, well, what is NDC doing? NDC is silence. Well, hello. If you want to hear what NDC is saying, I'm not a NDC, eh? I don't belong to any political party. If you're doing crap, you're doing crap. And if you're doing good, you're doing good. Well, I personally want to hear what NDC have to say. So tonight at 6 o'clock, by 5:45, I'll be pulling up a seat at Norton's Hall.
What's going on down there?
Well, from what the post I saw, Joseph Andel, Claudette Joseph, and Kennedy Roberts, my baby brother, will be giving some account of NDC and saying something on behalf of what NDC is thinking. So I am going to hear what they have to say. Because I heard somebody criticizing the other day and say, but NDC not speaking out. I haven't been hearing much, but maybe I'm not at the right place at the right time. So I saw a flyer and I'm going to be there tonight. And anybody else who's listening, I even saw, I wonder if it was Peter Bishop I saw ask, would it be live streamed? I don't know. But I want to hear what they have to say, because somebody have to speak out, somebody have to do something. Grenada is going to hell in a basket, as you say.
Handbasket.
Handbasket. Well, I don't know who's strong enough to carry this handbasket, but
Well, I'm seeing so much frustration, especially, thanks to social media nowadays. It's very obvious. Plus what you're hearing on the street. I mean, I go downtown to get some groceries every 2 steps. Hey, Mr. Grant, boy, what do you think about that, boy? I hear this and I hear that. Please.
And you have some people who supporting them no matter what. So you ask yourself, what are getting out of it? And some people, they could just do no wrong. They may not be getting anything about it, but as long as Dr. Mitchell opened his mouth, yes, they agree.
But Sherron, let me tell you, if you're listening carefully, a lot of their supporters are pissed off. They're speaking up nowadays because they don't like what they see happening. They may not like the NDC. Okay?
I want to see them speak out. I want to hear them speak out. I want to hear their supporters speak out. I was one of their supporters. And enough is enough.
Well, over the past few years, there have been a lot of defections.
A few. A few.
Not enough.
Not enough. People who really have Grenada at Grenada's interest at heart would speak out, would get out, would tell them that what they're doing is wrong. But it's almost like a Trump mentality. No matter what, they find a way of justifying what is done or what is said.
Leave Mr. Trump alone. That Trump only just came on the scene, 3 years ago? He's new.
But his mentality is that off. It's just a different color.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan Jaban says, yes, Sherron, when you demit any job, government job included, you must give back your employer's property. Cars, corporate credit cards, and cell phones included. Otherwise, it's plain stealing and theft.
Yeah. The only thing I have that used to belong to the US government is something I requested, and that was my badge. I got them to cancel it, but I kept it because of my picture in it, and it shows that I can go to any embassy in the world with that ID. I got them to cancel it and give it to me as a keepsake. Other than that, nothing.
But there was dialogue between you and the government?
Yes, I requested, that was part of I requested that as part of my departure packet.
Okay. Ryan goes on to say, people of Grenada have made it clear through the ballot box that they want no opposition and a one-party state.
I don't believe that. I think this election was stolen. I am convinced, and nothing could make me change my mind about it. And they could say what they want about sour grapes. I think that election was stolen.
Well, that's a popular belief in a lot of different, a lot of
So it's not a case that people chose through ballot box.
Somebody here is saying something. I'm trying to figure out what the heck this person is saying. That Sherron is a NDC. Somebody named Lucilla Richards. That Sherron is a NDC. That Sherron is a NDC.
Well, she can say what she wants.
That Sherron is a NCD. I don't know.
Whatever she wants.
Lucilla Trend makes sense.
Whoever that is.
Okay. Arthur Langine says, my lady, this is what you call mouth on the ground. So says Arthur.
That too.
Yeah. Sherron, let's forget about that for a minute. Let's talk about some more encouraging stuff. Did you hear Jimmy Bristol on Monday?
No.
Oh boy. Do yourself a favor. Either go listen to the archive of Monday's program on my website, or join us on Sunday morning. Jimmy Bristol was in here on Monday to announce that he has just won a case on the High Court. You know, over the years, courts have ruled against government, resulting in government have to expected to pay these people big bucks.
Right.
But you know that hasn't been happening.
They haven't been getting their money?
No, a lot of people haven't been getting that money. A couple of months ago, we did hear that the government had budgeted, I think, $40 million to start paying up some of these debts that it owed. I don't know if that has materialized or not. However, the court ruling last week, which is what Jimmy was telling me about, now makes it possible for you to grab government's property if they don't pay you.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
You can, like the way Jimmy put it, they have some nice car down there. You could go and take one. Or they have some nice land there. You could go and, yeah. If the government does not pay you, what the courts have said you are entitled to, you can grab government property.
Okay.
Listen on Sunday. Jimmy is, I'm going to replay that. He's going to explain that. I think it's important enough that we keep playing it over and over again.
That's very interesting.
Margaret says, and what happens if she is? It is her right to support who she wants. Oh, she's responding to that. Lucy, whatever.
Correct.
John Crow Alexander says, soon come. I am closer. We have some challenges. I like Sherron's way of thinking. George, nothing will change. Our society is needy, and that is what the leaders are counting on. NDC needs to use the courts.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
Huh?
I agree. I think it's so disrespectful to do things and think, you know, you take a little bit at a time. And let's take the constituency of Carriacou and Petermartinic, and let's break it down a little bit to the polling stations. I think it's 12A and 12B, Petermartinic. And from that list alone, I could tell you for a fact that there are many people there. You know, for example, if you live in the Commonwealth or CARICOM, if you're in the country legally, you went in through immigration and you're there for 12 months or more, you could vote. You could register and vote, but not less, and you could not come in through the back door. So you know, in the case of Petermartinic, a lot of Vincentians coming through the back door. They're working in Peter St. Vincent, they get a place to rent on Petermartinic, and they come there. But they did not come in through immigration. So if they're there for 12 years, they did not come in through immigration. So they're not there legally. And you have a JP who swore that these people living on Petermartinic but not looking at the fact that they did not come in through immigration, so they're not there legally, and got them to vote. I know, for example, a young lady who came after Hurricane, what was the names last year? Hurricane Maria, the year before. And she came in from Dominica with a boat. She did not pass through immigration. She was there for 3 months when they registered her to vote. That is illegal. All these things should be looked at. And when you pick it out, it is illegal. You know?
All right, Sherron, we're running out of time, but I want to share some comments with you. Mark, hold on. Kipling Francis says, Sherron, you are right. The election was stolen, plain and simple. The PM said so in many different ways. Who vex, vex. Truth is truth. Well, Kipling, I don't remember hearing the PM say that the election was stolen, but I can tell you, CARICOM raised this, the CARICOM Observer Mission raised issues. The OAS Observer Mission raised issues, and a lot of people in this country feel that way. A lot of people, okay? Benedict Cador says, congratulations to Jimmy on his win. However, I would like to see some of these politicians held personally responsible.
That's right.
Without that, the people will still suffer.
That's right.
He does have a point. John Bruno says, Sherron, 12 years is stretching it too far. Do you know what he's referring to?
The Vincentians living on Peter Martinic without passing through immigration.
Okay. Fitzroy Adams says, my fellow Grenadians, this is not about NDC or NNP. This is about our taxpayers' money that has been misused. The money can be used for health care, school books, and many other things.
Exactly. I am hearing a rumor though that you have to, I saw it on Facebook actually, that soon we'll be asked to start paying school fees again.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. It's called regression.
Mm-hmm.
Sherron, thank you, my girl. Thank you for coming in here. You're so loyal. Wednesday morning, Sherron in the house. Good to see you.
I'm off island from tomorrow.
Okay, you're going from that.
I'm coming back Tuesday night. When I was told I have to go and I'm coming back Wednesday morning, I said, no. What if the flight is late? I'm not taking a chance. I'm coming back Tuesday night. So I'll be right here on Wednesday morning.
Okay. Can't miss us.
No.
Because we will miss you. Kipling says, Kipling is responding to me here. He said, if a party had 9 seats and cannot win the election, then it should not be in politics. Okay. All right. So we shall see thee next Wednesday. Hold on. Jem the Sheriff Kelly says, Sherron should take them to court with all this information.
Me take them to court? Give me some money and I'll take them.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. There are a lot of people out there who would like to take legal action, but can't.
Yeah. Maybe the person who ran in that seat is the best person to take them to court.
That's why I found the judgment that went in favor of Jimmy. And by the way, this thing's likely to be appealed. I mean, I don't think government's going to take this one sitting down. So that Jimmy was suggesting it may reach as far as Privy Council.
Wow.
And he says they may go as far as to take it to the Privy Council. And Jimmy says if they win when they appeal here, Jimmy will take it to the Privy Council. So the Privy Council can expect a visit one way or another. Okay, that's it. So Sherron, we shall see you next week. Say hi to Winty for me.
Will do.
And we'll talk to you soon. All right, friends. Sherron Roberts there. Take care. Quick little break here, and then we're going to come back and wrap it.
GRENLEC Community Partnership Initiative.
This is not the first time that GRENLEC, through the GCPI, has responded positively to TAMCC. and we are always appreciative for the support. TAMCC, like the GCPI, is geared to service the community. As a college, we cannot accomplish our mission of fostering Grenada's development through education without meaningful partnerships from other community members. GRENLEC has been a leader in this regard.
GRENLEC, energizing our community.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
Mm-mm. I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Sherron, there's a note here from Gem FM, the sheriff. He says, he's responding to what you said a little while ago about not having money. He says, come together as one and just do it. Individually, it may be impossible, but together, you can win. See that we're also joined by Ann Thomas, and obviously you missed most of the program this morning. So in about 5 minutes or so, it's going to be up on Facebook. You can go back and watch it in its entirety. Parting word, my dear friends, from the first book of Corinthians, chapter 1, verses 26 to 29. Brothers and sisters, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many of you were influential. Not many of you were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before him. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, 26 to 29. On that note, my dear friends, Georgie, he had breakfast this morning, so he can't lie and tell you he going to feed his face now. Well, he had breakfast this morning, all right? Sherron, bring a piece of fish there for me. Chef George in the kitchen this afternoon. Yes, Margaret, sit there licking your lips. You're going to have to wait, girl. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me for today's edition of Gudday Grenada. By God's grace, we'll see you again tomorrow morning at 9.